just stuff I've seen from TikTok. I know he can do that. He can throw his sandwich. He can only throw it a total of 2 times, which I guess is good so you don't just spam it. And then also, sort of like it seems like they brought the Shaggy Super Saiyan meme to the game, which I thought was kind of cool, unless this is like some sort of lore of Shaggy and like some sort of Scooby-Doo episode he actually did this, I don't know, but all I know is that the Shaggy, Super Saiyan meme was a thing. And that's basically sort of the key to being good at Shaggy, at least what I would assume, is to always keep him charged. He has some really cool moves. He is also, I think, a brawler class, so he's definitely going to be able to cause a lot of damage. He has a lot of really great ring outs. He's probably one of the best characters actually for ring outs if you are sort of doing like a team, tag team mode. Shaggy's definitely a good character to have to, just get characters out of it. His movement is pretty good. He's pretty much one of the best sort of overall characters. Look at that, even just his down attack is super powerful. Nothing too crazy though, just mostly, again, like a brawler, has really good melee attacks, nothing too crazy about him, so, yeah, I mean, if I could rate him out of 10, you'd be definitely, sort of in the upper echelon of characters, I feel. Especially if you're going with difficulty, he is probably the easiest character, to learn and whatnot. Next up, another brawler, we have Batman. I'm going to be using his animated series costume, which is actually really cool that in the sort of training facility you can use his other outfits. And that's his top, it's kind of cool. But you can use his, what do you want to call it, a grappling hook. And that's probably one of his main sources of attack. That's really powerful. And also, obviously, his trusty batarang, which is kind of a cool item. Now, you can't spam it, which I guess is a good thing, but it does come back as well. And I stuck him with one of the sticky bombs, which is kind of cool. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's really good if you're, really good at the game. You can like juggle characters. You can sort of time it at a really good time. It's a really good sort of, again, juggling maneuver. Really good at ring outs as well. And his batarang, and also his grappling gunner, definitely pretty useful. One thing I forget to show you guys, he does have like a smoke grenade, and enemies are slowed when they're in it. And also you'll see at the bottom left when I show the movesets, some characters have passive abilities, which Batman does have passive abilities when he is in the smoke screen, which is, again, really cool. So Batman also really good for, again, sort of like a team battle or even just 1v1s. I think he's pretty good. Taz, on the other hand, is where we start getting into the very interesting kind of characters they have in this game. He is, I guess, some sort of a brawler, a bruiser, I should say. He's a bruiser. That's what the class is called. He's a fighter, but definitely more of an interesting one. He does have a move that you can swallow people, which is kind of funny, kind of like Kirby, obviously. It's the best sort of thing I can point it out to, but you can also chomp on people when you do it, or you can just run around with them in your mouth, which is pretty funny. He does have a lot of moves that involve food, which is kind of obviously, Tasmanian Devil is he's always eating stuff, so it's kind of funny. He also has this sort of patented Tasmanian Devil little tornado that he does in the cartoons. And then, again, this is a very interesting concept. I guess if you just hit the opponent enough amount of times, they turn into food, which, again, is just one of Taz's passive abilities, that when he does do that and you hit the character, you'll actually gain health. You'll go down on your marker, which is really cool. Again, a very complicated character. It's not going to be a character I'm going to be playing at all, but I thought it was a funny concept, I guess. We also have a very fun character from Steven Universe TV show, which again, I know is sort of like recognized as sort of being like a super awesome show. I definitely want to watch it a lot, but, I think her name is Garnet, unless I'm just completely pronouncing it wrong, but she's okay. Definitely not my favorite at all whatsoever. Probably one of the very last, I would say. No offense to the character, just the moveset kind of clunky, and her special abilities aren't anything really crazy, unless, again, obviously if you guys, play this game a lot, definitely let me know down in the comments on, characters to use, movesets to use, what to look out for, yada yada yada. I would love to know, and obviously play the Jake is definitely a character that I know pretty okay because I've seen a lot of TikToks of him, and I don't want to say he's more of like the competitive type of characters that I've seen used a lot, but he's definitely one of the more popular characters I've seen around TikTok and just watching people play on Twitch and whatnot. But he also has a swallowing ability. Obviously, it's Jake. He also likes food in the Adventure Time show, and he's super stretchy, which again maybe is one of the reasons why he is pretty overpowered because he can reach pretty far, as you can see, distances. He also has sort of like a Kirby ground smash, so definitely also very much of a Kirby-like character. He is much of a brawler and bruiser. He definitely has a lot of great sort of techniques. I was trying to run off with him in my hold there, if I could do it. He also has this really cool run and dash attack, which I find to be very funny. You just can just sort of use that all you want. He also has his up attack, which he sort of stretches out like that and gets pretty far up, and again his down attack is a pretty good combo to put alongside that. But yeah, really cool character. I can definitely see this guy being a lot used, especially in like a team comp sort of scenario. He definitely is a lot of fun to use and has a lot of really cool moves. His ring out attacks aren't really anything super crazy. Nothing compared to even a Shaggy. I feel like has a better ring out attack than him, but still really great character. I can see why he's one of the more popular ones. Then we have Finn, who again is probably one of the more popular characters as well. He's probably my main as of right now. Again, I've only played a very small handful of games. As you guys know, I'm not like a super gamer or even really all that much into PvP games. I'm really more of a story mode type of guy, so which I wish there were sort of like a story mode game, sort of like how they have in Super Smash Bros. I think it could be really fun. But Finn is definitely a character I've been using a lot of. His sword attacks are really fun. Obviously, a lot like the Link character with his up attack, his sword attacks, his charging even attack. Reminds me a lot of Link in Super Smash Bros. I really love his down attack. Is really fun as well, and his special abilities are okay. One of them that you guys tried to point out in my last video, which I do very much appreciate, is his down special attack, which it gives you some buffs here and there. You guys can pause that and read it if you want to. He also has a lot of passive abilities, which is also really cool. So yeah, I think he's definitely again one of the more well-rounded, easy to use type of characters like Shaggy. I can see him being again super popular. And also we have a character that is sadly from a show that I've said before I have never seen in Game of Thrones. I'm assuming they're going to be adding a lot of Game of Thrones characters, maybe one or two other ones that I can think of off the top of my head. That would be really cool to see. But this character, it's very, very, very interesting because she has the ability to, I guess, mock some attacks from some characters, which is kind of interesting. She can steal their face and then sort of stun their opponents whenever she changes into them, or even just use against some of their attacks. Now, I would really love, and I probably should have tried to do it with other characters. Obviously, I'm just beating the heck out of Shaggy in this video, but I feel like it'd be kind of cool to see what else you can do when I do get my face stolen. Obviously, if you are a person who practices this game a lot, and obviously practices this character a lot, you'd probably know the answer to that already, which again, I would love to know down in the comments. And her ring out attack is super strong. I think that was her forward special, or forward triangle, at least for me playing on PS5. Really cool moveset. But again, 100% one of the more difficult characters, definitely one of the more complex characters, definitely a character that if you really want to be good with her, take a handful of minutes and sort of read through her abilities and sort of get your bearings, I would say. Harley Quinn, another sort of bruiser, brawler type, really fun, really cool character. Obviously Harley Quinn, one of the more popular characters in the DC universe, and has a big hammer, which is really cool. Definitely very, very fun attack to use. She also has a little bomb that she has, and it sticks, kind of like the Batman one, which is cool, but this one definitely does, I think, a little bit more of a pushback, which is really cool. Definitely, again, really nice for comboing, and then it also ignites the character, so you can, again, sort of get more damage out of it, which is nice. She also has really cool and fun moves that are really great for comboing. You can see that she gets her enemies in the air very easily, so I would say if you're more of like an aerial type of fighter, you're really good at timing shots course, your boy being very much tied to sports in this channel and just loving basketball. Holy crap, they have LeBron James in this game, and it's from his, obviously, Space Jam 2 game. That's just me crouching, and his crouching is him tying his shoes, which I thought was really funny. But obviously, him being LeBron, you gotta have a basketball somewhere in the moveset. And as he passing the ball, does a pretty good amount of damage, which is kind of surprising. He also has like a shoulder check, and he actually uses his ball in his moveset, which is really cool. You can shoot the ball as well, which is pretty fun. But he definitely has sort of like a need to have the ball on his hand a lot. So I highly recommend, obviously, you take the ball and use it as much as you can. But he's a character that I would actually use a lot, and I just need to save up a couple more coins so I can use him and practice him a lot more. Oh, I thought this was funny too. One of his moves is him like complaining on the court, or like him calling like a foul. I thought that was really funny. But yeah, really fun character. Just gotta obviously keep the ball on LeBron as possible. It definitely makes him a little bit more stronger, a little bit more of a buff character. Some of his moves are kind of hard to time, but I love his down attack, his down special attack. That move right there, his little slam dunk move, is super powerful, great for ring outs, and yeah, definitely a character that has a lot going for him. As you can see, his moveset list is amazingly long, but definitely a character that when I do get enough coins to buy him, I'm definitely going to be using him a lot and just trying him out, because as you can see from my training, he got a ring out very fast with me just messing around and trying. So once I actually learn how to play him, I can see where that can go pretty well. We have Wonder Woman, who is again one of the free-to-play characters, one of the recommended characters to play. She is a tank, and you can see why, because she has a lot of defensive buffs, not only with her passive, but also with her down special attack. She sort of like spawns a bunch of shields around her, which, again, very great for tanking a lot of damage, which is what she's made to do. She is pretty basic when it comes to her moveset. Obviously, a lot of sword attack, shield attack. She doesn't really have like a great sort of ring out, you could say, sort of damagey type of character. So, again, plays her role very well. Just takes damage. I would feel like she would play very well in a team scenario, not really much of a one-on-one or even free-for-all. I don't think she'd be all that great, but I can see where she could come very much in handy. I really love her little move right there when she like clashes her gauntlets together. I thought that was really cool. She also is a character that can use a really great aerial arsenal, especially with her up triangle, which is really strong. As you can see, they're really easy to get ring outs. And her lasso of truth is also an attack that she can use to again attack or even just lasso a ally to pull them back, which can obviously save ring outs on your team. Then your boy Superman meeting up with his arch enemy Batman, and also very much a easy to play character. I thought it was really cool that they had his frost breath in the game, which is really cool. You can freeze opponents. Takes a little bit of time though. His triangle is just a nice, powerful punch. Also, his up triangle is really cool because he can catch opponents and sort of grab them and sort of throw them around, which I thought was pretty funny. He also has his laser vision, which is really cool, but like that, I thought that was pretty cool. And trying to get some combos with me, getting Batman in the air and just getting ring outs was really easy. So if you're really good again with aerial attacks, like I said before with Harley Quinn, Superman I feel like is a great character, especially if you can time it right with getting your grabs right. You can definitely cause a lot of mayhem. And his down attack is also really cool too, with the sort of a ground slam. Pretty simple character, not a lot of things going on with this moveset. So again, if we're talking about tanks, definitely one of the easier to use guys. And speaking about Superman, we have the Iron Giant. Please, I beg, if you have never seen the Iron Giant, oh, please try to find a way to watch the Iron Giant, one of my favorite movies as a kid. But look at this moveset. Look at the passives. He's a character as well that I would highly recommend to take some time to read through that, because when used right, I think the Iron Giant may be one of the more overpowered characters in the game. He does have, obviously, a bigger hitbox because he is humongous. So if he is sort of in a team scenario free-for-all, he is going to get targeted very easily. He's going to get hit by every sort of projectile on the map. I tried to do another carry-off. It looks like you can't really do that very well in this game. But his moveset is pretty darn insane. He has a very fun set of moves, and sort of the big sort of passive with Iron Giant is collecting bolts. And obviously, oh, I love this move too, with this sort of little flaming shoes. I thought that was really cool. But with collecting bolts and just doing a lot of damage with the Iron Giant, you get his special, which I think he's one of the only characters that have an actual special ability, kind of like a Smash Brothers special. And he goes berserk. Now again, if you've never seen the movie, you don't really understand. But if you've seen the movie, you know. At the end of the movie, really sick that they added that in this game. Anyways, very fun character. Can't wait to unlock him and play him more. Steven Universe from obviously the Steven Universe TV show. No offense. I think maybe my least favorite character that I used. No offense to the show or anything like that. He's just he's a support character first of all, which support characters are great. They're obviously amazing to use if you can use them well. But he's definitely a character that you have to practice and practice and practice and practice and practice and practice to be good at. Because his moveset, very wonky. Even his basic attacks are very weird. I love his move that he can stand on his shields, but this bubble move, I hate it. The bubble move is super weird. I understand it's sort of like a great way if you're sort of like about to set up a good combo with a teammate or something like that. Unless again I'm sort of missing out on some things here and there. Definitely let me know down in the comments. But he's okay. He's definitely a support character. His moveset is interesting. A lot of sort of like this magey type of magic. But I think my favorite thing about him is just the ability to, I guess, set sort of platforms for teammates and yourself, which is pretty cool. Then we have one of the new characters that they added to the game, which is actually a character they made just specifically for this game. Shout out to the person who sent me that comment telling me that. I thought that was really cool that they actually did that, adding sort of custom characters to this really crazy lineup game. Maybe they'll do more of that throughout this game's life. But it's a character that has some pretty unique abilities, a lot of throwables, and it's also one of the first sort of characters you learn that can actually lasso teammates to save them from ringouts, which I think is probably the coolest thing about this character, is that you can really time really great combos for teammates and even cause some pretty good damage over time. I think his forward attack, his charged bolt, is really impressive and powerful. I thought that was really cool that they added such a strong moveset to a support character. But yeah, you can sort of read through his moveset list here, and it's good, it's fun. It is kind of basic, kind of like Steven Universe, but I'm sure again, if you practice him a lot and use him obviously in a right scenario, it could be very fun with Reindog, or Rain, whatever. Then we have Velma, which very interesting character as well. Again, a character I didn't really like a whole lot. Very interesting moveset, very unique. She has words that she fires out a lot, which is interesting. You can see right there I have him targeted, and when I have him targeted, some of my moves will just instant lock onto him. She also has a move that ices opponents, which I thought was really weird, obviously, with Velma. Never really knowing that she really had that ability in any of the shows. Also, I love her move that you saw me just do right there with the calculator, which I thought was very funny. Kind of a very smarty move. And also the light bulb. Getting the idea of light bulb or up attack was really cute. And also my favorite move of hers probably is the run dash move, which just like with Jake, you can sort of charge up and use whenever you want, and pretty much carry them around the entire map, which is actually pretty powerful and OP. But her passive ability, you can pause it and read it. Super complex. I had no idea what to even do with that. I tried to do it actually, and it didn't really work. So, I mean, I would love to see the passive ability from her because it sounds really cool, but I'm not gonna give it a shot. But it sounded pretty cool. Next up, we have the co-stars of Space Jam 2, Bugs Bunny and LeBron James. Here I'm gonna be about LeBron James, so no, if you're a LeBron hater, you probably love the idea of me doing this. But yeah, this is really cool. Down attack that will lead to him forming a tunnel, which see his propeller ears is also very cute looking. But yeah, just a very fun character that if you time his attacks right, like I just did right there, sending the missile at him, and also putting the safe down, can be very fun and useful as well. The only thing I only have a problem with him is that he does seem very overpowered, even as a stun attack, which is pretty OP. But also, his abilities have a lot of cooldown, so if you use them all simultaneously or all at once, you're kind of waiting and sitting there for quite some time with a lot of ability cooldown, which is kind of annoying, but again, it kind of does make sense that he isn't too overpowered. Then next up we have Tom and Jerry, who is also an interesting character. They're actually classified as a mage class, which I don't know why. Kind of interesting. But Tom and Jerry are definitely probably the most unique characters I've ever seen in a fighting game ever, because they're not even fighting in the game. They're fighting each other, and everyone else is just kind of in the way, which I thought was super adorable. As you can see, they are just literally fighting each other, which is super funny. But I've actually heard from some of you guys that Tom and Jerry are actually maybe the most OP characters in the game if you use them correctly, which does make sense. They deal a lot of damage, I will say. They maybe don't have a lot of sort of like ring out attacks, but man, if you can really be good with these characters, they will be getting your opponents to level 100 damage very quickly. I mean, look at me just juggling LeBron right now. Obviously, it's a CPU, not sort of dodging or anything like that, but even then, it's really impressive how easy damage you can put on people. Now, with Tom and Jerry, as they're fighting